Yo, what's up guys? So a couple of weeks back, the shop asked me to do a review on the new Cabrinha Moto. And a couple weeks back, they sent me a demo 10 meter along with a new Contra 1 strut. And gotten out a few times now, tested this one out, and just wanted to do a quick review on this one and let you know what I think and where this one stacks up. Let's get to it. So getting right to the point, we all know the Moto's Cabrinha's 3-strut, do-it-all kite, and if you want my take on it, I would say this kite really is a jack of all trades and a master of none. And what I mean is the Moto is kind of a unique kite because it's aimed at like hydrofoiling, surfing, and then free riding. So just you know, like back roll kite loops, gentle jumping, kind of your average rider, that 90%er who's going out there and just wants to do like, you know, normal kiteboarding tricks. And to that end, I kind of addressed this a while back on a video we did where we got to check out the first edition of the Moto. And I made the case that Cabrinha, rather than updating the switchblade, what they did is they came out with the Moto. So like, for example, if you look at Cabrinha's lineup and Duotone's lineup, 5 years ago, the Evo and the switchblade were like almost identical kites. They were both 5-strut kites. They were very similar. And then Duotone redesigned the Evo and they came out with a 3-strut do-it-all kite and basically just got rid of their old Evo design. Whereas Cabrinha, they chose to keep the switchblade and they created the Moto, which is what I think the switchblade would have become if they tried to put that do-it-all DNA into a more modern, faster 3-strut kite. So as far as that goes, I would say it's really for that rider that just wants something fast, light, and playful. And then it's not really like the rangiest kite. So with a lot of do-it-all kites, what we normally see is they'll be aimed kind of in one particular direction. So it might be a do-it-all kite, but really it's kind of a big air kite, or it might be a do-it-all kite, but really it's a freestyle kite. And with the Moto, I would say it's pretty well balanced right in the middle. If it tipped any one direction, it's definitely tipping more in that foil boarding direction. Surf as well, but back to back with the drifter, I like the drifter so much more that I almost put the Moto more like in a foiling box. As far as who this kite is for, what I've noticed is on for example our local beaches back when I was riding in Michigan, is a lot of the older riders who are like kind of really good leading the charge, kind of setting the standard for our area as far as like being the best riders out there. They really gravitated towards the Moto because they really liked having that light, whippy, faster feel. And as well, you know, there are things like, for example, wind range. So the switchblade's still going to have a much better wind range than the Moto, but a lot of these guys that were better kiteboarders, they didn't really mind giving up that wind range, top and bottom wind range. So I do still feel, for example, while the switchblade might not be as fast or whippy as the Moto, I do notice a pretty significant difference in the wind range between those kites. The switchblade is just a bit more stable. You know, it can really handle a lot of wind thrown at it, and when the wind gets light as well, that switchblade has that extra grunt. The Moto definitely likes to have a good amount of power, but it's not one that you can really like push it as much as say like a switchblade or something like that. It's a pretty well balanced kite. It kind of hits every discipline just a little bit, and it really is aimed at that rider who just can't make their mind up and wants to do a little bit of everything and is willing to trade off a bit of range, maybe trade off a bit of higher end stability for that faster, whippier, kind of more foiling experience. And so in summary, the Moto is just kind of a fun, fast little whippy kite that is aimed, in my opinion, more at kind of like intermediate level kiteboarders, even though I know Cabrinha, I'm pretty sure they market it from like beginner to advanced riders, and for sure you could pop a new rider on pretty much any kite these days. You could put a new rider on a sea kite if you wanted, the way the technology has gone. But with a moto, what I mean is, because it's got such light bar pressure, you can't always feel where the kite is. You don't get as much feedback from the moto as you would from like a switchblade or some other kites, but then it's just such a playful, fun, fast, whippy kite that like you can basically like, oh, I'm gonna go foiling today, moto. I'm gonna go surfing today, moto. I want to go send some jumps and some loops today, moto. You know, you can pick that kite without a hesitation for any one of those categories, and then just get real active with your kite, doing a lot of down loops, a lot of back loops, and a lot of fun little kind of groovy old school kiteboarding tricks like that. You know, as far as personal preferences, the moto is probably not my favorite kite in the lineup, but I do know a lot of local kiteboarders who are like the OGs in our area, and it's like their go-to kite. They love it. They're always on it. Throwing down some pretty stylish old school tricks, a lot of loop-based things, front loops, down loops, a lot of really good-looking hooked-in freestyle tricks, and those guys, they're just frothing on the moto right now, so it's actually a pretty popular pick on the local beaches. So there's definitely a rider out there who's going to love this kite. And I guess if you know anything about me, if you follow the channel, I like my kites to have a bit more bar pressure, a bit more feedback. And for me, the moto, the bar pressure is just so light, so incredibly light, that I actually prefer like the switchblade with heavier bar pressure, or even the FX, just because it has that freestyle feel, and then the drifter for the waves, which is why I never go for it myself. But for that do-it-all rider who does want something with like super light bar pressure and real whippy, it's probably a really good call for you. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions on the kite, just ping us in the comments. I think most of the guys at shop have tested this one as well. 10 meter was fun, looped really well, fast kite, just super light bar pressure. Maybe too light in my opinion is my biggest gripe. But yeah, if you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys next time.